Hello, grade 9 students. Welcome to another exciting science lesson. In this video, we will explore how a parallel circuit works and discover why it is the most common type of circuit used in our homes and everyday electrical devices. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to first define a parallel circuit and describe its basic characteristics. Second, explain how electric current, voltage, and resistance behave in a parallel circuit. Third, describe what happens when one component in a parallel circuit is broken or disconnected. Differentiate a parallel circuit from a series circuit. So, as we go through the lesson, pay close attention to the diagrams and examples, and think about how parallel circuits make our daily lives more convenient and reliable. So, get your notebook and pen ready, and let's begin our lesson on parallel circuits. Let's begin with the definition of a parallel circuit. So, what is a parallel circuit? A parallel circuit is an electrical circuit in which the components are connected on separate branches across the same voltage source. Now, let's understand this definition by focusing on two important phrases. First, notice the word separate branches. This means that each electrical component, such as light bulb or a resistor, has its own path for electric current to flow. So instead of traveling through a single path like in a series circuit, the current has multiple paths to choose from. Second, pay attention to the phrase same voltage source. Although the components are connected on different branches, every branch is connected directly to the battery or power supply. Because of this, each branch receives the same amount of voltage from the source. For example, in this parallel circuit, so if the battery supplies 12 volts, then every branch in the parallel circuit also has 12 volts across it. So if the battery supplies 12 volts, bulb 1 receives 12 volts as well as bulb 2. So remember these two key ideas. In parallel circuit, separate branches mean there are multiple paths for current to flow. Same voltage source means every branch receives the full supply voltage. So these two characteristics make parallel circuits different from series circuits and explain why they are commonly used in homes and buildings. Now that we understand the definition, let's see how a parallel circuit actually works. In a parallel circuit, what happens if one component is broken? Since a parallel circuit has multiple paths for electric current, each branch operates independently of the others. What does this mean? For example, a parallel circuit with three light bulbs, each connected on its own branch, as shown. When one of the bulbs is broken or removed, the other two bulbs remain lit because they still have their own complete paths for electric current to flow. This demonstrates one of the most important characteristics of parallel circuits. Each branch operates independently. So a problem in one branch does not interrupt the flow of electron in the other branches. That is why parallel circuits are commonly used in homes. If one light bulb burns out, the other bulbs continue to work normally because each one is connected on a separate branch. So remember this key idea. In a parallel circuit, one broken or disconnected component affects only its own branch, while the other branches continue to operate normally. Now that we know a parallel circuit has more than one path, let's see how electric current flows through it. So when the circuit is closed, electric current leaves the battery. The current then reaches a junction. Instead of following only one path, the current splits into separate branches. Part of the current flows through the first branch, another part of the current flows through the second branch. So after passing through the branches, the current then join together again. Finally, the current returns to the battery, completing the circuit. So to summarize how electric current flows in a parallel circuit, first current leaves the battery, reaches the junction, splits into separate branches, flows through each branch, joins together again, and returns to the battery. This means that the total current supplied by the battery is divided among the branches. So one important rule to remember is the total current in the circuit is equal to the sum of the currents flowing through all the branches. So in equation form, the total current is equal to the current flowing through resistor 1 plus the current flowing through resistor 2 plus the current flowing through resistor 3 and so on. For example, in this circuit, if 3 amperes flow through the first branch and 2 amperes flow through the second branch, then the total current supplied by the battery is total current equals 2 amperes plus 3 amperes, that's equal to 5 amperes. So this relationship is one of the most important principles of parallel circuits, and it will help us solve circuit problems using Ohm's law in the next lesson. Now that we understand how electric current flows in a parallel circuit, let's examine again the voltage in a parallel circuit. One of the most important rules is that the voltage is the same across every branch. This happens because each branch is connected directly across the same voltage source or battery. As a result, every branch receives the full supply voltage. Remember this important relationship. Voltage across each branch is equal to source voltage. In equation, the total voltage is equal to the voltage across the first branch is equal to the voltage across the second branch, also equal to the voltage across the third branch, and so on. So if the voltage source, for example, in the circuit is 12 volts, then the voltage across the first branch is also 12 volts, second branch also 12 volts, and across the third branch is also 12 volts. This is one of the key differences between series and parallel circuits. Now let's learn about the resistance in a parallel circuit. Unlike a series circuit where the total resistance is simply the sum of all the resistors, finding the total resistance in a parallel circuit is different. The total resistance of a parallel circuit is always less than the smallest individual resistance in the circuit. This happens because when resistors are connected in parallel, electric current has multiple paths to travel. Because there are more paths available, it becomes easier for the current to flow. So adding more branches reduces the overall resistance of the circuit because it gives the current more paths to travel. Let's have an analogy. Think of it this way. Imagine people leaving a building. If there is only one exit, everyone must pass through the same doorway, causing congestion. But if three exits are opened, people can leave through different doors, making it easier and faster to get out. A parallel circuit works in a similar way. More branches mean more paths for electric current. So the overall resistance becomes smaller. So here are the key points to remember about resistance in a parallel circuit. So parallel circuits provide multiple paths for current. Thus, more branches decrease the total resistance, and the total resistance is always less than the smallest individual resistor. To calculate the equivalent or total resistance, we use this formula. Notice that instead of adding the resistances directly, we add their reciprocals or inverses. You don't need to memorize why this works yet. Just remember that adding more branches gives the current more paths to travel, which reduces the overall resistance of the circuit. We will discuss more about this equation in our next lesson. Now that we learned the two fundamental types of electrical circuits, the series and parallel. Now let's compare series with parallel. Although both are electrical circuits, they differ in several important ways. First, let's look at the path of the current. A series circuit has only one path for electric current to flow. In contrast, a parallel circuit has two or more paths, allowing the current to flow through different branches. Next, let's see the current in series and a parallel circuit. In a series circuit, the current is the same throughout the circuit because there is only one path. While in a parallel circuit, the current is divided among the branches, and the total current is the sum of the currents in all branches. How about the voltage in series and parallel? In a series circuit, the source voltage is divided among the components. But in a parallel circuit, every branch receives the full source voltage. How about in terms of resistance? In a series circuit, the total resistance is the sum of all the resistors, while in a parallel circuit, the total resistance is always less than the smallest individual resistance because adding more branches provides more paths for current. Finally, consider what happens when one component fails. In a series circuit, the entire circuit stops working because the only path is broken. While in a parallel circuit, only the affected branch stops working, while the other branches continue to operate normally. So we have compared series circuits and parallel circuits. It will help us understand why parallel circuits are commonly used in homes, schools, and other buildings. And remember, understanding how electricity flows in different types of circuits helps us use electrical devices safely and efficiently in our daily lives. So, congratulations! You have reached the end of our lesson on parallel and series circuits. Before we end, here's a quick question for you to think about. Why do you think household electrical wiring uses parallel circuits instead of series circuits? So take a moment to reflect on what you have learned and try to answer this question in your own words. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. Until our next science lesson, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning. Stay safe and goodbye.